Hello everyone, I'm Chris Thomas. You're watching an ABC 10 Plus recap of the day's top stories you may have missed. Citations for illegal fireworks went out in one Citrus Heights neighborhood. We hear from passionate residents who say enough is enough. Then an update to a story featured on 10 on Your Side. A state senator's response to a small business owner's homeless concerns. The ABC 10 Plus recap starts now.
We start tonight with the latest on the deadly warehouse explosion in Esparto. Today marks 2 weeks since a catastrophic explosion that killed 7 people. It also destroyed a warehouse and damaged multiple buildings nearby. New drone video from ABC 10 shows the blast site now surrounded by fencing. You can also see PG&E crews on the ground. They tell us 13 power poles were damaged in the explosion and still need repair. This afternoon, power was restored to all customers. That includes 3 homes that had remained without power.
Last week, the Yolo County Board of Supervisors declared a state of emergency because of that destruction. Today, ABC 10 tried to speak to the Yolo County Board of Supervisors at a meeting, but they declined the interview.
We talked with Julie Heckman, the executive director of the American Pyrotechnics Association, the leading trade association of the fireworks industry. She has worked on regulatory recommendations, and she's been closely tracking this incident.
What type of annual inspections were conducted at this facility? If it was licensed for agriculture only, who had knowledge that there were explosives? I think that's step number 1. And were they stored appropriately? I think the whole firework industry is looking at this accident to determine what can we learn from it. If we could find something out, we could say, was this preventable? Or do we need to change a regulation or a standard to make certain that this is preventable going forward?
We contacted the state fire marshal and the Yolo County Office of Emergency Services to ask for updates on this investigation. Both agencies tell us they have no new information to share at this time.
In Citrus Heights, investigators responded to more than 300 fireworks violations, and that led to at least $300,000 in fines.
It's part of a 4th of July crackdown by police aimed at sending a clear message. ABC 10's Luke Clary reports.
If you were in the Sacramento area the night of the 4th of July, this is probably what you saw. Illegal fireworks. They erupted on this street too, in Citrus Heights, where Robert Charles now lives.
Just moved in here, and then 4th of July comes along and
boom. Boom. That's exactly what it was. Boom, boom, boom.
In the light of day, the evidence is everywhere.
you look on the ground and you'll see lots of debris and litter from detonated fireworks. And on this cul-de-sac in Citrus Heights, at least 3 people received citations.
CHPD says 2 20-year-olds were cited here for illegal aerial fireworks and a 22-year-old cited for being the social host. Charles says they had it coming to them.
Yes, they did. Yes, they did. They were blowing up the bombs at 3 o'clock in the morning.
It was part of a citywide crackdown that resulted in over 300 separate violations and over $300,000 in total fines.
I want to thank the police department for their great work on fireworks night.
The mayor pleased with the outcome. Earlier this year, City Council increased penalties. Fines can now rack up per firework deployed. And property owners can be cited regardless of who physically ignited them. Police used additional patrol units in the field and drones to pinpoint where the fireworks were coming from. Back on Pompey Court, where Charles says the illegal impromptu display went overboard.
Yeah, way overboard, and it's unnecessary too.
He now hopes the citations going out in the mail make people think twice next year.
Now, anything can happen with dangerous fireworks that are not controlled.
In Citrus Heights, Luke Clary, ABC 10.
And a full breakdown of the enforcement effort is expected on August 13th when the police chief presents to City Council.
What was supposed to be a piece of legislation to address the homelessness issues turned into be a heated debate between city and county leaders and a California state senator. Critics say Senate Bill 802 won't solve the problem at hand. ABC 10's Gina Nguyen shares their concerns and the response from Senator Angela Gashby.
Quite frankly, this is not the way to legislate.
A lack of communication and collaboration. That was the theme of Tuesday morning's press conference with Sacramento County and city leaders.
Senate Bill 802 will create much more bureaucratic barriers to addressing the issues of homelessness.
Introduced by Senator Angelique Ashby, Senate Bill 802 would restructure the Sacramento Housing and Redevelopment Agency to a joint powers authority, renaming it to the Sacramento Area Housing and Homelessness Agency. The new agency will be governed by elected officials in Sacramento County and the cities of Sacramento, Folsom, Elk Grove, Citrus Heights, and Rancho Cordova. Initially, all jurisdictions impacted opposed the bill, but Folsom Mayor Sarah Aquino says the last 48 hours have been filled with late-night negotiations, resulting in a no-show from Elk Grove, Rancho Cordova, and Citrus Heights. Mayor Aquino also suggesting to turn this bill into a 2-year deal.
It was an hour-by-hour, almost minute-by-minute negotiation. 7:30 last night, I would have thought I would have seen all of those cities here. By 11:30 p.m., it was clear that Folsom would be here today.
Elk Grove Mayor Bobby Singh Allen tells ABC10 she now has a neutral position to the bill following these negotiations. But Sacramento County Supervisor Pat Hume says there needs to be more amendments, saying the county is already doing similar work as mentioned in the bill.
We are looking at a different framework for a coordinated homelessness council that would involve all of the electeds from the different agencies, as well as the continuum of care, as well as SHRA.
In response to the pushback, Senator Angelique Ashby says she's not surprised, but changes do need to happen. She says that she is open to making amendments to the bill so that Sacramento County can finally see solutions to the homelessness issue.
I've taken so many amendments that the document looks like a rainbow full of colors of changes, which I'm very proud of. This is no pride of authorship.
Even though she is open to amendments, Senator Ashby has a strong response to the idea of delaying this for an additional 2 years.
The idea that 2 more years on top of the 20 years we already spent working on this is ridiculous.
At the state capitol, Jeannie Nguyen, ABC 10.
And SB 802 will go before 2 assembly committees tomorrow, and amendments mentioned in the negotiations between these multiple cities will be announced during these committee hearings. It's something that we will continue to follow.
Did you spray my wall?
I did not spray your wall.
We first told you about Sacramento barber Cheryl Weston. She turned to 10 on your side after confronting the homeless who she says vandalized and left trash outside her Oak Park barber shop.
The scene that I walked into was unbelievable. I have dealt in the past with homeless issues, but nothing to this degree. When it comes down to my safety, Chris, this is how I make my living. You know, as a barber in this industry, if you don't work, you don't eat. Where is our reprieve? Where do we, the small business people, small business owners, who do we call?
10 on your side took those safety concerns to Senator Angelique Ashby.
I feel so much for her. I feel for all the businesses, people who've invested in our city. Small businesses are the backbone of Sacramento. They're 40% of our workforce.
Senator Ashby insists she has a plan to help. She's introduced SB 802 to create a new regional agency tasked with coordinating resources and funding. The bill would restructure the Sacramento Housing and Redevelopment Agency into a joint powers authority, renaming it to the Sacramento Area Housing and Homelessness Agency. The new agency will be governed by elected officials from within Sacramento City and County and will include Elk Grove, Citrus Heights, Rancho Cordova, and Folsom.
And I can tell you the budget does not look like it did 4 years ago. We will not get $400 million more in the next 4.5 years. So we're going to have to figure out how to stretch the dollars. And the only way to do that is to come together.
This is supposed to be a bill about regional collaboration. And with all due respect to Senator Ashby, collaboration seems to be what is missing at this point.
Mayors from multiple cities across the region signed this letter of opposition to SB 802, raising concerns about losing control of local funding and saying they were not consulted.
I think the bill can be better with more input. But just to say it shouldn't be done is a cop-out.
Is this a solution to the homeless crisis? The public now has a chance to weigh in on the bill with 2 committee hearings this week alone. You can speak out for or against SB 802 tomorrow. The Assembly Housing and Local Government Committee are both open to the public. Meanwhile, do you have a problem and don't know where else to turn? Email me at onyourside@abc10.com.
New tonight, the Drug Enforcement Administration says they've been taking a lot of meth off the streets. An administration leader talked exclusively with ABC News, showing footage of some of the latest tactics.
Yeah, they say Mexican cartels are using these tactics to smuggle drugs into the U.S. Christian Cordero has a closer look.
It looks like a box of cucumbers, one of hundreds on a produce truck the DEA says crossed over the border into the U.S. In this footage the DEA provided to ABC News, the agency unpacks how creative the cartels have become by lining the cardboard boxes with bags of meth. The agency says they made this discovery the week of July 4th.
They just look like a normal vegetable crate, and they even changed the packaging and the shape of the kilos to fit underneath the cardboard where it was virtually impossible to detect.
Acting DEA Administrator Robert Murphy spoke exclusively with ABC's Pierre Thomas, saying cartels are trying to surge Americans' addiction to meth in an effort to boost profits.
So far this year, we've seized approximately 70,000 pounds of meth. Now, put that in context, 2024, that's the entire amount that we've seized for DEA, 70,000 pounds. And that was a record year for DEA. At this pace, at a minimum, we're going to double what we seized last year.
Some meth intercepted from hollowed out watermelons, others mixed with celery and onions. Officials say they've seen meth turned into pill form as well, which could make it easier for dealers to trick unsuspecting customers into becoming addicted to the highly potent substance. Taking meth pills may also be easier than smoking or injecting it.
A pill form of methamphetamine might not kill you instantly, but it can get you so addicted to meth that it can destroy your life.
Welcome back in. The Supreme Court is giving the Trump administration the green light to move forward with cuts to the Department of Education. Now, education advocates warn the president's plan will severely impact students in low-income communities and those with disabilities. ABC's Christian Cordero has the details from Washington.
It was a promise he made on the campaign trail.
Your state is going to control your children's education.
Now, President Trump's plan for the Department of Education, tested and passed through the Supreme Court, can be put into action. States already administer their schools' curriculum and, along with local governments, are responsible for most of the funding in public schools. The federal Department of Education oversees billions of dollars that largely go to students in low-income communities and those with disabilities. It also enforces civil rights laws within school systems. And within the department itself, the layoffs of more than 1,000 workers paused by a lower court are now able to proceed.
We want, as you know, we want to bring education back to the states, take the federal government out of it.
The emergency Supreme Court decision gave no majority opinion, but Justice Sonia Sotomayor wrote a dissent backed by the court's two other liberal justices. In it, she argues the unconstitutionality of letting the president decide the fate of a department created by Congress, writing, "The majority is either willfully blind to the implications of its ruling or naive, but either way, the threat to our Constitution's separation of powers is grave." Education advocates warn the cuts will leave vulnerable students without critical services, from special education to financial aid. The administration has suggested some of the DOE's core functions, like federal student loans, could be taken over by other agencies, like the Treasury Department. Education Secretary Linda McMahon celebrating the Supreme Court's decision.
I'm just incredibly pleased that the authority was reinstated where it should be. This lifts the handcuffs off of what we've been trying to do.
This comes as 24 states sue the Trump administration for withholding $6 billion in Congress-allocated funding. The grants had bipartisan approval, but are on hold because the administration wants to review where the money will go. The states are asking a federal judge to intervene. Christian Cordero, ABC News, Washington.
Evacuations are growing in Arizona as the fires in the Grand Canyon National Park continue. The governor is now calling for a federal investigation into how the Park Service is handling the fire. Now, this is the fire that destroyed the iconic Grand Canyon Lodge. Faith Abube is at the scene with the latest tonight.
The extremely high temperatures and strong gusty winds we've experienced in the last day really have not helped the situation at all. And in fact, they've added more fuel to the fires in some places, making it more and more difficult to get them under control. Remember, there have been 2 wildfires that have been closing in on the north rim of the Grand Canyon for several days now, both of them caused by lightning. 70 structures destroyed so far, including that historic landmark, the Visitor Lodge. More resources are being added as part of an increasingly aggressive strategy to contain the fires. But today, many roads leading to the North Rim remain closed, and people who were told to evacuate have not been cleared to return to their homes and their businesses just yet. But even in the middle of all these difficulties, officials are proud of one thing, the fact that there have been no reported deaths or injuries so far. But the North Rim will remain closed for the rest of the year. Faith Abube, ABC News, Fredonia, Arizona.
Faith, thank you. We have a special streaming right now on the ABC10 Plus TV streaming app. It's called California Wildfires, Preparing for Peak Danger. We hear from wildfire survivors. We talk to Red Cross about how to prepare for evacuations and much more useful information. Download the free ABC10 Plus app streaming on your TV. For now, let's bring in Chief Meteorologist Monica Woods. Let's talk more about that cooling breeze that we've been having. I took advantage of it this morning, went for a walk. Yes. My alarm went off early, so it was a good thing.
Nice. That's the nice thing about it. We at least get a little bit of relief at night, huh?
Certainly do, yeah, especially this morning. It was quite noticeable, even chilly at that, because temperatures are cooling into the 50s. So we're starting off with that cool breeze. And tomorrow morning, a little bit of the stratus moving in from the coast. Slightly warmer, looking ahead to the forecast, but the key word there, slightly warmer. All right, let's take a look at the visible satellite imagery. This is a really good picture of how we saw a little bit of that marine stratus even this morning, kind of retreating back towards the Bay Area. We'll see a bigger push of that coming our way for tomorrow. And this has been predominantly what's been keeping us so much cooler than where we normally should be this time of year, in the low 90s. And said Sacramento 87, Fairfield at 80 with that nice onshore flow. Now, it takes a little bit more time to kind of reach the northern and southern stretches of the valley, but it's headed our way for tomorrow. And this is quite a drastic difference from where we were last year at this time for the start of July. Look at the amount of 100s in there, just 2 days in the 90s. Whereas this year, we're talking about most days in the 80s and 90s with just 1 day in the 100s, and that being the 4th day of the year in the 100s. So quite a nice change here, and I've been hearing it time and time again. Oh, keep it coming. And I really think you're going to like the 10-day forecast as well. Sunset today is at 8:29, so we still have a nice time to enjoy this beautiful weather. Currently in the 80s and 90s throughout the Central Valley. Tahoe currently at 82 degrees. We are seeing a few thunderstorms pop up in this year, but mostly east of the crest around Yosemite. And it's really going to stay there through our Wednesday forecast as well. We're expecting some of those thunderstorms to move towards the Yosemite area, but overall fairly dry for this year. And nice to see that as well, since fire danger can get a little bit higher as we move deeper into the dry season. Future wind gusts coming in for tonight, still pulling in that big breeze from the Pacific, and that's going to deliver some of that marine stratus, especially near the Delta. It backs off a little bit during the day, but it's right back with us for Wednesday. Now, it does start to taper off into Thursday, and again, that kind of hints at some warming ahead for our Thursday and Friday forecast. But if you're headed out to Cal Expo for the State Fair tomorrow, it's certainly a great day to be out there. Light southwest wind, highs will be in the low to mid 80s. Checking out those regional temperatures, 80s up top for this year, 80s down low for the foothills to right around 90 degrees as we move towards the coast. Our highs are getting into the mid 60s. Inland areas, we're going to pull in some of that cool air, especially near the Delta with highs near 80, and pretty much widespread 80s, lower 90s throughout the valley. So again, Wednesday's our coolest day of the week for all areas. Some of us have seen some cooler conditions for today, but tomorrow widespread cooling. Onto our regional extended forecast. We see slight warming ahead for the end of the work week and weekend, but it just basically gets us back to near average. We're going to sit in the 80s for Wednesday and Thursday, low 90s return for Friday through the weekend. Average high this time of year is 93 degrees. That's where we top out on Sunday, the warmest day of this 10-day forecast, with more 80s ahead next week.
Bring it on, huh?
I know. Makes your head scratch a little bit. Are we in July?
I know.
It's but wonderful. Especially with the fair, you know what I mean? The state fair.
Good point.
Usually it's always too hot to get out there and enjoy it.
Not this year.
Let's do it. Monica, thank you.
Welcome back in. I am Kevin John.
Well, she's an NCAA soccer player, a leader in her community, a hero to hundreds of kids. Oh, yeah. And she's the recipient of one of the most prestigious honors in the nation for young people.
I checked my email, saw the announcement. I was just shocked.
Marlise Nauman was one of just 20 people across the nation to be selected as a recipient of the annual Billie Jean King Youth Leadership Award. This award, which is given out by ESPN, is presented to young people who are using the power of sports to strengthen their communities.
I always wanted to have an impact on the students. That was always my goal, but I never envisioned that that would become more than just impact on the individuals.
Marlise is a 2025 graduate of McClatchy High School in Sacramento, where she starred on the school soccer team. Marlise has also served with Street Soccer USA as a coach, mentor, and advocate for those who come from underprivileged backgrounds.
I've always wanted to be a coach, and I've always had small opportunities here and there, but street soccer really gave me the opportunity to have that passion bloom.
You, at the age of 18, you're mentoring coaches, you're changing lives, you're transforming lives, you're giving back to your community. Why is that so important to you?
Honestly, I think from a young age, I've kind of seen my path. The support of everyone who's been with me pushed me to this point where I can give back. And I think it's such a blessing to be at a point in my life where I'm able to look at my experiences and appreciate my experiences and know that I want to provide those to others.
Marlise will be heading to CSU Dominguez Hills in the fall, where she will continue her soccer career. As for her career aspirations,
I plan to have an international research foundation on prison rehabilitation. So I want to work on having formerly incarcerated people rehabilitated into society in efforts to lower our incarceration rates.
so clearly an amazing, qualified young woman. They're definitely doing a lot more than what I was doing at 18. She's planning to major in political science and psychology at Dominguez Hills. And that award will be presented at the ESPYs, which of course will be right here on ABC 10 tomorrow.
Congratulations, making us all proud, I must say.
Hey, well, it's so hard for me to stare this way when to my right, Courtney, and over her shoulder who are these two creatures?
We have Avalon here, and then we also have Brisbee over there.
And I've been warned that Brisbee is a little bit more sassy. I don't know if we're going to find out what that means, but Courtney McAllister, thanks so much for being with us.
No problem, absolutely.
So technically, you're an animal care specialist, which means you care more than anything for the care of these creatures,
yes,
right?
Absolutely. We're here every day. We're here on holidays, weekends, oftentimes spending more time with the dolphins than our own families.
And I've got to jump in. Like, no one cares about creatures in the wild as much as I do, and I love that we're not seeing them do tricks. They're here doing what dolphins do on a given day-to-day basis. It's just really a good experience for people to get up close to dolphins, to appreciate why we need to take care of them more than ever.
Absolutely. That's like one of our biggest ambitions as well, is just to inspire people to come to accredited facilities like Six Flags Discovery Kingdom, where you can see them up close, and then we can also give you some insight on what to do if you ever happen to see some out in the wild as well.
Awesome. And what I love about the show, it's not as much the dolphins as the people. The people are dancing. If anything, you're entertaining the dolphins.
Absolutely. We tried to make this show much more immersive, including the dolphins working with the people and showing our relationship and all of our similarities and differences at the same time.
Got it. And shows happen every day. And if you're in Six Flags, you just wander over here and see it?
Yeah, every day at 2 o'clock. If the park is open later, then we'll also have a 5:30 show as well.
And also, again, pointing out they're not doing tricks, so you're not going to tell them to splash people. But if people want to get splashed, you can certainly set them in the right place where a dolphin might want to do that.
Yes, and we can also direct the dolphin to certain areas of the stadium to help direct them where the people wanting to be splashed are. But also, if you come to a dolphin show, you should expect to get a little bit splashed.
You've been doing this for about 6 years. Do you ever get over it? Because I'm just so in awe by these amazing creatures.
I don't get over it. It's also, like I said, we talked about Brisbee being a little bit sassy. They all have their different personalities. Avalon is much more of what we would call our golden retriever dolphin. He loves to please people, whereas Brisbee tends to be a little more, like I said, on the rambunctious side.
And you've probably grown up knowing that dolphins are super intelligent, but being out here working with them on a day-to-day basis, you start to see it. You know it.
Absolutely. They are very clear with what they want and don't want, and they're kind of like little kids, like around 6 years old. So they're just old enough to be mischievous as well as to make up their own opinion.
I love dolphins. I'm mischievous, and I like sushi. We have a lot in common. All right, so coming up, keep watching ABC 10 Plus. Coming up in the 7, we're going to take you topside and see what you might experience if you see So Flippin' Fun, the show. Courtney, thank you. Six Flags, thank you. Avalon, Brisbane, thank you. And back to you.
Brisbane, the rambunctious one. All right, well, there we go. Faster than lightning, no one you see is smarter than he. All right, it's the old theme song from Flipper.
Thanks for watching this ABC 10 Plus recap. We are here 24/7 on the free ABC 10 Plus TV streaming app. You can get your local news and weather anytime, anywhere. I'm Chris Thomas. We'll see you next time.
Thanks for watching ABC 10 Plus. And now that you're here, why don't we take a look around and see what else is here? The very first tile on your left is always going to be streaming 24/7. You can find us adjacent to that, breaking news if it's there. And then right next to that, a replay of the most recent newscast. Whether it's ABC 10 Morning News at 5, 6, or beyond, it's going to be there. The forecast beyond that, and then right beyond that, the news that matters the most. Now that you know the basic tiles, let's go up to the top and take a deeper dive into news. We have every single newscast that you would need, including To the Point with Alex Bell, taking a deeper dive into the issues. Beyond that, ABC 10 Morning News at 5 and 6 and 11, the evening shows as well. Below that, you can watch the top stories from To the Point. Under that, Dollars and Cents, where you can learn how to navigate this challenging economy. And below that, you can watch our award-winning ABC 10 Special Investigations, where we hold the powerful accountable. Going into weather, look, it's the 10-day forecast, getting you ready for the weekend and beyond. Beyond that, sports. I know you care about the Sacramento Kings. We have the most comprehensive guide to anything, everything Kings in the locker room and on the court. We have it. Below that, I know you care about the San Francisco 49ers. Up now to shows. Very excited about this. Oh, look. It's Take a Look. This is my show. I love movies, and if you love movies or streaming shows, whether it's on screens this big, or this big, it's Take a Look. Recently went behind the scenes, sat down with Lady Gaga and Joaquin Phoenix to talk about Joker 2. I love the movie, and oh, I just heard you shout you hate the movie. Jump in, we talk about it on this show. Other shows, Bartell's Backroads, go up and down the state of California, tank of gas getaways, one fuel cell getaway, like places like the Toy Museum. This is what kids did before they had screens. Over here, the Moaning Caverns of Calaveras County, one of the most coveted caves in all of California. You know, watching this show, I discovered there's a cave that could fit the entire Statue of Liberty in your own backyard. You'll find about that and more with Bartell's Backroads. Down below that, To the Point. It is one of my favorite newscasts because they talk about news with Alex Bell the way you talk about news. It's conversational, but in-depth at the same time. Below that, Your California Life. Love this show. Whether it's entertainment, food, beverage, lifestyle, it's there. Desiree Shepherd hosts and does an amazing job. So there you have it. It's ABC 10 Plus, the app. What do you need? We heard you and we got it. Thanks for watching. Thanks for streaming.